Peace, family. First thing, I want to send out a sarcastic thank you for all the well wishes that was concerned about my health when I said in my last video I was going to challenge Gino Jennings for attacking the characteristics of my people. You know, they was concerned that he was going to embarrass me, mop the floor with me. People was like, I would love to see that. You know, when I thought about actually doing this, put me in the mindset of a friend of mine who passed away long ago. He said, Jonathan, if you ever see me in the woods fighting a bear, don't help me. Help the bear. This is the mindset I have to anybody that type the character of my people. But before I get to the meat of this topic, let me tackle the bones. New minions who come flooding my page defending this foolishness. You know, I was accused of speaking with emotion. Well, the emotion I use in my videos is I call it passion. Passion for my people. I defend them in all scenarios. I don't care what they do. I'm gonna speak on their behalf. I don't care how good I'm doing, how poor I'm, whatever. I'm gonna speak for my people. I'm that passionate about mine. Then this other clown come in talking about how I just give opinion. Nothing I'm saying is proven by facts. He haven't seen it in the book. You think the oppressor is going to write down in the book how to defeat him, and you're going to be able to read it and implement it? You know, but let me undress this a little bit for you. First of all, what is a fact? If you took every fact in the world and traced it back to its origin, it would be an opinion or thought. An opinion or thought over time grows into facts because it's been proven correctly. Once it reaches a fact, then you teach it to your people so that everybody be on the same accord. This is how mathematics came to be. You can take E equal MC squared. Everybody agree with it. And whenever you see this formulation, you come up with these results, everybody's consistent. Now it's a fact. If I tell you E equal MC anything other than square, you say I'm wrong, even if you know pi or not. So the opinions that I give are just baby facts, because over time I'm going to be proven correct. And so you don't need to see it in a book to know whether it's right or wrong or not. You can feel it in your heart. This gives you the reason, the motivation to pursue this opinion, just to see if it's valid. And my opinion is this: black people should live in no land where they don't have ownership and control or influence over their existence. Black people should live in no land where all the businesses, industries, and institutions are in the hands of their oppressor. You don't need to find the result of this in no book. No one should live outside of their ability to maintain their own existence, especially black people. So now if you're waiting around for this to be a proven fact so you can read it in somebody's book, you can just keep on waiting. You know, and let me tackle these people with their degrees. You know, these intelligent and enlightened, highly educated people. When you confirm the fact that black people did enslave their own people, how far back in time do you have to go? How many years ago was this when black people enslaved other black people? What were they doing at the time? You know, you go back 5, 6, 7, 800 years, 1,000 years, or however far it was. This is when they was establishing new territory, expanding territory, defending territory. Yeah, everybody did it. These are people that they captured, that they were fighting. But you want to go way back then to justify the brutality of whites today. See, when you use your education to go back that far in history to disparage your own people, that means you don't have the courage to face what these people are today. And that's a sad testament to you and the education that you received. Because, see, back in those days, when black people or Africans were tribal and expanding their territory and capturing their own, they still didn't reach the level of barbarism, the level of slavery that whites implemented. Even in their most prehistoric days. You got white people today still trying to put lynching on the books as a punishment for crime. You got a president running, Donald Trump running for president today, saying that if he was around in the 1700s, he would have renegotiated the deal between the North and the South so that the South could keep slaves. So you go on way back then to criticize a people who evolved beyond those barbaric days. You don't see these wars going on now. And see, and as evidence of this, the same Africans that were enslaving their own, when they moved beyond that period, they developed a society, a civilization, a culture, a language, a spirituality that they embraced and adopted, and they taught to their children. They studied the charts. They created the sciences, education, clothing. They had a distinguished consistency among their people. This is evidenced through the African proverbs. Many hands make light work. It takes a village to raise a child. Many spiders can bind a lion. This speaks to the evolution of my people. This is inconsistent to a people who was known for enslaving their own. You don't enslave your own people and write African proverbs that speak a social order, working together, unity amongst each other. But you know who don't have no proverbs like that? You know who never evolved beyond their barbaric behavior? It's white people. White people are the only people on the planet that you can search the whole globe, and they have left no historic footprint of any society, any civilization that they come up with on their own, any language, any culture, no education, nothing. You just have to take their word for it. And then you want to still talk about what black people did thousands of years ago? And when you look at what happened to black people today, when you see the dysfunction among us, how do you go from blacks having enslaved their own people, blacks creating their own African proverbs, and now blacks are vicious amongst themselves? What happened to blacks? They came across the ever-consistent vicious mentality, the vicious nature of white people. And whites enslaved them for 300 years, robbed them of the culture that they developed, their language, their history, their spirituality, and stayed on top of us ever since. But see, all your education, you don't speak about that. So, let me conclude this video by saying this. If and when I ever do get opportunity to challenge Gino Jennings, the last thing you have to concern yourself with is me, because all he knows going to speak about is that Bible. And the same mentality that my friend had is the same mentality I have. You ever see me in the church battling the pastor? Don't help me. You better help that pastor.